how we saw in our previous season, this is definitely doable for Penta, where they would just go for one of the sites that they would never, ever have expected and just shut down BD.
Now, I don't know if you can hear the crowd behind us, but they're all on their feet, ready to get underway with map number 1 in this best-of-3 series. This, again, is our second semifinal of the day, and the winner of this will go on to play ENTS in the grand finals.
Yeah, one point to say as well is that if this is an EU versus EU final, then Snook and Nodes will actually qualify for the Invitational. Now, keep in mind, ENTS is already qualified, Penta Sports is as well, and BD, because they got seed number 1 in their region. So the Invitational is the big event that they're preparing for right after this, and that's something to keep in mind, not just winning the trophy right here.
I am really excited to see that right off the get-go, Penta is throwing in a curveball, going with the bar and gaming one-hold, which is the third bomb site.
And KS even going, okay, this is very odd. This is not a setup that you would ever see.
I say odd, but we've seen this before out of North America when Bittersweet played Year 2 Season 2. We saw them play this upstairs, and I think it also might have been Year 2 Season 1.
Year 2 Season 1, yes.
Regardless of whatever the fact may be, these guys are bringing something new to the table with some old information.
Yeah, as Kix was saying, it's a cyclical meta. There's sometimes some of the parts of it that you might just drop out to make sure that you're catching your opponents off guard. And this is perfect from Wog. Get all the way up in bedroom and get Psycho on here so he can take control of the top floor as well. And he just will have complete line of sight all the way into the game room from those windows here.
Eunice almost getting shot in the back by Psycho, looking in through office window. Now he's going to have to stay right on the corner of L at the moment, or hop on over, which he's doing right now, onto the display case, down to the fireplace.
One thing I would have expected as well from BD is the Glaz, because they've been playing him pretty consistently on Chalet, and would have been a great pick to have on such an attack also. But they're going to be playing it safe. Obviously, they're going to go for that. The Blackbeard's going to be staying outside. Kamikaze's going all the way below. And Jonas, though, is trying to make sure that nobody takes care of the fireplace. Now, misses the shot on the drone. That's important. You want to deny as much info as possible, because then BD go into a craze. And this is where their chaotic gameplay is going to start getting in. This is where Penta want them to be.
Eunice is getting pinched right now. He's going to get droned. And will the pre-fires come on out? Ash is going to be there. And that will be PZD picking up the first kill of the round. Eunice will bite the dust.
Drones up and running.
That's a pretty good start here for them as they lose the Ella. Not all of the mines have already been used, so that's something to keep in mind as well, just to disorientate your opponents. Joe's going to check the nade in just to make sure Fabian's not sitting in there, but he is ready for them right by the snowmobile. This might turn very much sour. You don't want to separate your players too much here.
That, as well as bring the diffuser downstairs. We saw WAG bring it down to the wine cellar. They must have communicated, said, no, let's go back upstairs. We got to go find a different route. Fabian, very good job baiting out the one nade. That's a wasted nade now for Black Dragons they no longer have the use of. And it's forcing Black Dragons to renegotiate their attack.
Now, this is a really nice crouch wall from Mira as well, KS. It basically gives him more info because he wants to spot the legs as well of the opponents that are moving through, and this gives him a bit of a wider angle looking in. Goga standing in the gaming room hallway, just waiting until Kamikaze here peeks in from the dining room. It won't happen just yet. They might just try to push him, but 30 seconds remaining. They're going to need to run in, and this is where Penta, with 4 players on the site, they can completely shut them down.
Yeah, and especially with these gas grenades, that's the last one that's going to get tossed out. He'll blow it in 3 seconds. Goga's going to grab a kill on a PZD, but not before KS falls. Going to be 3 on 4, now 15 seconds to go. Fabian's underneath. The drop hatch is open, so he might be able to do some work from down there. 10 seconds on the board. Hibana's going to try to rush on in. Julio goes down, so does Psycho. However, Goga's going to get taken out by WAG. It's all up to Pengu and Fabian. Pengu grabs a shotgun onto WAG. Now Kamikaze drops, but not enough time, and Penta will take round number 1.
Absolutely fantastic from Pengu. Timed everything with Goga perfectly. Goga got the first kill, heard everybody coming in, fell back, the smoke was already thrown on the door, and then you saw Pengu using it. 12 seconds remain at that point, and all that he had to do is just stay alive. And he grabbed the kill with the SMG-11, pulled back below the bar, and got the 870 in hand. You cannot engage a smoke up close there no matter who you are, and you just get taken down with the 870.
To me, the one big issue, the one big opportunity that Black Dragons missed was playing some sort of vertical game. I didn't see holes above the bar
didn't take
opened
control
up.
of the
I didn't
bar.
see library taking control of. You cannot win bar if you do not have control of a library.
I think this is just because BD were so surprised, and they're like,
Yeah.
we didn't plan for that. We didn't have anybody. And the Blackbeard that stayed by the windows wasn't really able to do much. Now, having him here on this balcony would have given them the advantage if they wanted to push the library, and then from there have an advantage of everything below into the actual game room. Unfortunately, that did not happen, and now BD is on the defense. They're going to be defending a very, very standard kitchen trophy room, and Wag is going to set up for his Black Eyes on the Valkyrie. It's a pretty standard lineup, basically, from BD with the Val, with the Jaeger, with the Bandit, the Ella, and the Mira. Nothing too special here except for KS, who's going for the Ying, and those Candelas can be very good if you just want to rush in and completely blind them. We saw Ents using that as well today.
We saw how well that tactic worked for Ents just previously. And it was just smoke grenades. Candelas go on inside. We saw, I think it might have been...
even on Oregon in the
had rushed
basement.
in, got the Mira inside of the cubby of that trophy room.
It can happen on basically any of the maps where those defenders are forced to stay in confined areas. Oregon is one of them. The trophy room here is one of them as well, because most of the walls are reinforced and won't be pushed that often. But Pengu here very smartly is waiting for one player inside, spots out Psycho. Kill number 1 for Pengu, and that's a really good start for Penta Sports.
Like you said, very nice job. Pengu rappelling up to the balcony there, grabbing a shot onto Psycho. 2 minutes to go, though. Unit's going to be outside as he hops into the office. Goga already taking control of library. They're now going to flush out Jaeger. That's going to be Kamikaze inside of the bathroom. Push going to come on in. Eunice needs to be very careful. They still need his Habana charges. Good C4 toss, though, from Julio.
They're not waiting for PZD. He gets the kill. Fabian right outside, and he's got the thermite headshot directly from Kamikaze on the master bathroom. And this is a perfect start here. Goga will get dropped from PZD. Last one alive, but KS grabs him. Last one from PZD. What a round from BD, holding the top side even after losing the first player. Just completely calm and concise, and just holding on to the strategy that they had.
Now, if you are sitting in a chair right now and you're in the arena, I got to hand it to you. I got to say, what are you doing? Because right there, 99.9% of everyone on their feet cheering for the home court.
I bet Intera was the first one to stand up after that, I'll tell you that.
I'm turning around. He's still standing over there.
He's pretty much ready for this. So I hope Penta are ready for this, because BD will not give up without a fight. And here we go. They're now on the attack. Buck's going to come out from BD. And this is going to be a standard play again. Yes, all the way down below in the lower floor after winning their first defense. Now, the Buck is very useful to take down the hatches, but other than that on the attack, he kind of just does his utility work and just serves as throwing grenades, flushing people out, but it's all about the timing with the grenade.
Now, one of the things that Penta does very well is they identify if there is a single player on that team that is having the match of their life. They identify that player and they take him down. Think back to the grand finals of Year 2, Season 1, going up against, they were then known as Black Dragons, but they're now known as BRK.
Yes.
They shut down Nest, and that's exactly what Penta is good at. They're good at identifying that team, identifying that player, taking him out. Right now, it's looking like PZD might be that player of this map, and if that's the case, Penta needs to identify that, and they need to shut down PZD.
Yeah, obviously it's still the third round that's just starting up, so one player hasn't really shown himself too much. For me, that player would be Julio overall, but Psycho, as we saw with what Kix was explaining, he is that wild card that can just go absolutely insane and demolish an opposing team. So these players all have to show up, but the team play was basically what won them the previous round, and this is how you play against Penta. Penta want to force you into making mistakes and pushing aggressively against them, because they will dominate you in the chaos. They are calm and ready, and this is what their practice regime allows them to do.
Now, Fabian is going to be inside of the library. Right now he's got some cover on the back stairs, but gets droned out by Julio. We're going to have Psycho, I believe, on the balcony of the office. He's going to try to make sure Fabian doesn't have a lot of rotation room.
Well, Psycho, again, just droning in. Julio, though, there we go. We're talking about the Buck. Those grenades are exactly what they need. And the nade's going to get thrown in right onto Fabian, taking him out. PZD will start running in as the defenders will fall back. Goga just trying to play a really tight angle here against him in the bar room. And after that, it just falls back. Okay, he does not want to get too aggressive.
PZD's going to miss the shot, though. That's going to allow Valkyrie to get back downstairs. PZD will slap down that kill as Eunice falls to Kamikaze. It's going to be a 5-on-2, a minute 20 to go. Penta has 2 players left.
Not a fan at all of the Val Goga. They're trying to throw the C4 to get the kill. Should have just fallen back and gotten on the site. Unfortunately, they open themselves up. They lose that mute. They, again, were left with Pengu and KS all on their own on the site. This is not impossible, but when you have 5 and the Buck that's just opening all the floorboards against you, it's going to get exponentially more difficult with every single one of those skeleton key shots used on the floor.
Now, what this comes down to is Black Dragons needs to push simultaneously from multiple different angles. They cannot take these one-on-ones. KS just tried to get down Julio. He took a little bit of damage, but he's now going to be tucked around inside a garage. There comes the nade. He'll go down. Pengu, however, will pick up Kamikaze. Now, KS took some more damage, and there's a nice kill. Wag picking up KS. Last man's going to be Pengu. He's inside of the wine stock closet. They know he's there. He's going to be looking on over. He grabs one. Can he grab another? Not just yet. He's going to move on out into Cubby coming around through the doorway. Diffuser has been planted inside of the connector. Is going to be, I believe that's going to be, there's the final kill. Habana will pick it on up.
Good try at the end there from Pengu, but Wag, when you're playing against 3 players like this, all they have to do is just wait up and hold on for you, because that garage plant is almost impossible, even for a player Pengu's caliber, to go through it in a clutch situation like that. But great start from Black Dragons. All started off, as we were saying at the early round, with having Julio on the Buck. His job is to buck the floors and get minimum damage with the grenade, and he got the free kill on Fabian, then allowed his Ash to run in, and he had the Habana as well that facilitated their kill, take down Goga, and then leave KS, and they leave at the end KS and Pengu alive on their own on the site. What can you do against this onslaught from the players of Black Dragons?
Well, I'm assuming Penta's going to figure it out, because this is going to be a showdown. Now, we did just have to cut back for a moment. We wanted to get some audio issues fixed. We should have in-game audio for you, ladies and gentlemen, right now.
No, I'm pretty sure it's because they wanted to show our faces a bit more.
Oh, yeah,
I'm 100% sure of that.
You can't go wrong with the bow tie.
Yeah, that is actually true. I like that. Yeah, I'm actually looking at that. It's pretty interesting. Anyways, so getting back into the game, BD are setting up on the defense. And still, both teams are going for pretty much the same sort of defense. Now, going for the deployable shield means that you don't want, or you want to limit your opponents from going in and droning as easily as they could. And this basically means that you don't have to worry about every single one of the drone holes and just can fall back. But Penta are going to pull out that Ying again. And we'll see how KS plays it this time around. Fabian going for the support play, basically. There we go. We finally have the spec in the game. But this harks back on the games from yesterday, because Penta have yet again switched around the players on their roles. Fabian's going for the Thermite, and Goga's going for that Twitch. Usually, it's literally the reverse. And I'm not sure about why they have this, and I definitely have to ask them about this, that's for sure.
Now, Goga already pushing down to the back stairwell. He's got to be cautious, though. Makes up too much noise. He's down here all by himself, not too much coverage. And Wag's already looking down towards him. However, I believe the garage wall just got opened up. That's going to force Wag back into connector. He's going to have a line of sight here right on Goga as Eunice drones it out for him.
Well, Julio, okay, he's going to get spotted running through. Goga, though, very smartly. A lot of people have a very light hair trigger and just immediately open fire. Not how it's supposed to happen. Gather information. You know, okay, there he ran out, but he didn't run out from the other side, so he's still all the way inside. Now spots the second one running back into the wine cellar. But here we go! Goga's going to get dropped. Nicely done by Julia, just spotting the tiny pixel that he needed, and now Penta lose their first player without having taken down those mirror walls. The Twitch is dead.
Now, I love Pengu's drone. It's up in the very top. Right here it is. Pengu's drone, very top of the fireplace, taking a look. Above, inside a library, is going to be Psycho. I believe they know he's there because the mirror windows there, the reinforcement, they know someone's above. Are they going to go ahead and pinch him? Looks like inside of office is where Pengu's going to be. He's going to need some help, though. Make sure that we don't have Psycho trying to flush out.
Yeah, and that drone position is excellent for Goga because this means he can just watch it, and as soon as they try to push, and the rest of Penta can just focus on coming down. If somebody's trying to flank them from behind, this is the drone that's supposed to save them. Fabian, though, has taken damage, though Pengu will grab his team's first kill on PZD, eliminate the Ella, and now they're just going to set up to try and push with 40 seconds left. those Ying nades from KS are going to be essential.
Now Psycho has started to rotate back. He's on the back stairwell. Eunice, though, grabs the kill on a Psycho. That is the Valkyrie going down. We are going to see a little collapse here from the Wine Cellar main garage section. We've got KS. We've got Pengu. Fabian's still going to be up top. Eunice drops on down, picks up Julio. He's not going to move in forward. We're going to see another kill from KS. 4-on-1. It's all up to Kamikaze, but he will not get a single frag as Pengu takes him down with the R4C.
They pushed in, they threw the smoke, and also the Candela. The Candela completely blinded the defenders left in it, and you just have basic TDM where Pengu will 100% win the game and just take down the last support player left in the hallway, and that is a very easy attack. See, they took their time to get set up and push. It's not about, hey, okay, we lost one player, but it's not the end of the world. They were successful in pushing back BD into the garage and the wine cellar, and as soon as that is done, then they have full control of the top side. They have the drone to save them just in case on that top side. That is a fantastic position for the drone, by the way. And then you just push coordinately. The Ash threw in at the same time. We have KS readying the Candela to throw it at the same time as the smoke was being thrown in by him. This is timing. That is 100% the power of Penta.
No, I agree. Penta seems to be on top of their game as well as Black Dragons, which is why we're seeing the score so even. I'm inclined to say we're going to get to the third map. I'm inclined to say that if not at least 2 of these maps will go to overtime.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I'm looking forward to at least one of these overtimes because this is very difficult to call. As much as Intera and I would be fans of one or the other team, I'll tell you, this is extremely difficult to call. And coming into this, I'm pretty sure Penta are extremely afraid of one team and only one, which is Black Dragons. And realizing that they very much will face them in the semifinal it's extremely tiring. Let's say at least to their coach, because he spent until 4 a.m. reviewing everything after that. Coach's job is not easy, and these are the fruits that are finally coming in. But I love this from Psycho. Going in for the glass, but this is something Penta are prepared for because they are set up to minimize the effect of that glass. Just having mute to reduce all of that droning as much as possible. Has to go in blind and focus on the smokes.
Now that's a good Valkyrie camera. Goga's going to spot out from outside of the trophy window. Psycho, however, being that glass, is going to drone out L, move over towards the library. He'll spot Eunice here momentarily. If he only just moves just a little bit.
If only. He's at D, just holding off the library balcony. Might just jump in here. No, Eunice just going to drop out, not going to push against him. He's just going to put that element, but that is just to confuse him. Coming in, okay, I have to stay on my toes. Now he gets very, very slow. And he has no support just yet from the glass. So this might just allow Jonas to just charge in and attack. Because Psycho's still looking for the one player, but he's so far away.
I'm scared for Eunice right now. There's on the side window of trophy, or on the display cases, you have the Blackbeard. You've got glass out on the balcony. You've got pressure from Ash on the windowsill of the library. And therefore, there are 3 people trying to hunt down and take out Eunice.
They still haven't spotted him just yet. They're not going through that only one reinforced room. They'll definitely be able to get the Ash. Here we go. One, almost going for the second, but Kamikaze will drop him with a headshot on the Blackbeard, turning it into a 4 versus 3.
Yeah, that Blackbeard there. Kamikaze picked up the kill on a Fabian first, then KS. Then onto Eunice. And unfortunately for PZD, he thought the library was cleared. He said it was all good. It just wasn't.
Now they rely so much on the glass to do that self-destruction that you would normally see from the Ash, but Psycho does it, gets the headshot, cleans up KS here, and that only leaves Pengu and Goga. Now we've seen Goga clutch it out heavily on that Valkyrie, and this might be the moment to do it on land.
A good C4 ready to go by Goga. He's waiting for the push. I'm thinking he's going to get Psycho here. The smoke grenades are going out. Toss is going to be in about 4 seconds here. And then it's going to happen. There it is. Tosses him. Oh, but he misses it.
No,
little
Goga!
Short. He's got to get away from it, then try to blow it in time. Will he do so? The last gas grenade is going to get tossed out here by Pengu. He goes down by Kamikaze. It's going to be a 1-on-4 now. 10 seconds go. Goga's going to move in. Psycho's going to pick it up from the smoke. And that's going to be Black Dragons leading 3-2.
Huge mistake from Goga there. Had to have that crosshair a bit further up to make it happen. I mean, they were a bit too far away. BD kind of realized, I don't know if they spotted him with the drones when moving down, but if they did, that was very smart to just keep back. If they didn't, that is just good preparation, to say the least. But now they're up, and Black Dragons are really giving Penta a hard time. We have not seen this for quite some time, really, and even BD are going for the mute play, so I wonder where will they position those jammers all around? Because this plays around, will they use those mute jammers to just hide one of the roamers, or will it be to just deny information on some of the wider areas of the map?
I mean, you and I were talking about this earlier while we were down at the analyst desk. This is Penta's 20th series in the Pro League this year. There were 7 in Season 1, 7 in Season 2, and this will be game number 6. Now, if we take a look at that, if we don't include this current game, Penta is 18-1. They've only lost 1 game, and that was 2 ends in the finals of the playoffs.
Yeah, the seeding game for season.
Play day number 7 of Europe.
10 seconds remaining.
And they, in total, have only lost 2 maps.
Correct.
Well, 3 maps.
Well, one is
maps.
Supremacy.
Yes. Well, no.
It was Supremacy, wasn't it?
No, they were playing against B-Genius. That was early on in this season. They only lost those 3 maps. 2 of them were just against Ents. So them losing this map is a 25% increase. This is, not an easy thing to deal with for them. But I like this from Fabian going in for the IQ. Yet again, Goga is the one that would usually go for it, but they would prefer him to be on the Thermite. They know that they're going to be attacking in reinforced areas, so having that Thermite just to set up correctly would help out very well. However, there is no Thatcher to help them out. Thankfully, there's no Bandit on the defense for BD to worry about too much.
Now, as we take a look here, Penta's going to move over towards that snowmobile garage. It's already been opened up here massively. And the bomb site is going to be in this bar and game room yet again. So what we're going to be seeing here from Penta is trying to take control of the bottom, make sure that Psycho can't toss up toss up a C4, make sure WAG can't do so. And this is exactly what I think Eunice is trying to get this pinch on.
Eunice just moving in here, taking down the camera. WAG might just peek in and go against him. He's playing pretty well behind the trash cans, but will just drop out. WAG's going to fall back. Very smart decision-making from him, not getting too aggressive. As I say that, though.
I like this, though, from Wags. He's keeping pressure on Eunice, and that might allow Psycho to get into position from the wine cellar. Right now, he's playing very conservatively. He's not taking that bait, and therefore Eunice could potentially come out on top of it.
Yeah, it's something for teams and also for us as casters, viewers, etc., to stop thinking one-dimensionally and think that if the player is just holding an angle, it's not just for him to get the kill. It's quite possibly to either facilitate it for his teammate, but also to facilitate a rotation, as you were talking about just a second ago.
We are going to see KS grab a couple shots onto Psycho, drop him down, as well as Julio. Goga's going to pick up that frag on the head with the 5.56, and now we've got a minute left to go.
Pengu all the way on the outside on the balcony. That is a great spot to have him in, but PZD will take down KS.
Goga's going for the plant right now. He's moved in behind the bar. There it is. Very successful. Kamikaze is going to be in bar hallway. Looks like PZD and WAG will pick up the kills, but the wall has been opened up, so the attackers can be on the balcony. We see Pengu there. He's going to have full coverage, and this, unfortunately, is not looking really good for Black Dragons. It's a 3-on-2. WAG, however, is injured. Looks like he's going to get picked up. PZD, he's going to be injured now, and Kamikaze, he's the one that picked up WAG and come up the fireplace stairs. Eunice, though, inside of the connector between dining and fireplace. Pengu, the main cover, is finally down. Here comes a flashbang, but it doesn't work. The cover from PZD will get them the win. 4-2 right now, leading in favor of Black Dragons.
What a ballsy move from Goga. But that is the 101 of how Penta plays. If we have the ability to plant on the objective, let's just do it. Why worry too much about it? Let's just go and get the plant and try to defend it. Unfortunately, they lost one of their players that was supposed to stay on the site, or at least around it, or hold the top site on library. Then that is a huge problem. They relied too much on Pengu that was on the outside. He was already spotted. Sure, they didn't know where Eunice was, but he's the guy that you want to not put too much pressure on. He has to be the calm one to just turn around the last second and make sure that it's clean. Fortunately, that didn't work out too well for Penta, and BD are on map point for map number 1.
Yeah, and this was the map that I believe we expected Black Dragons to kind of win on. I want to say with Penta, I wasn't necessarily sure. Now,
I thought personally that Penta were going in pretty well prepared for this map against BD. I'm surprised a bit that they're making these mistakes against them, but they're not really mistakes. They're just BD really
it
playing
comes down to
differently.
some of the gunfights a little bit here. I mean, there are some mistakes where we're seeing people not check their corners or make assumptions about this room is clear or this angle is clear, they'll move in. But a lot of it, I feel, just comes down to someone has to come out on top of the gunfight. And right now, Black Dragons is doing more of it.
Now, unfortunately, that is the case here, at least for Penta. Psycho sitting on the outside. Now, this is something as well that we don't usually see nowadays, but there are some of the, well, especially the APAC region, that likes to put either Glads or Hibana especially on the patio all the way outside. I think that's a bit too far for this. And the position that the Glads is in, Psycho, is pretty darn good for him. Now, again, this is one of the operator picks that they would have. At least the composition that they have is very normal for Black Dragons throughout their online season, and Penta are just going to be relying on their same defensive operators. So far, pretty darn normal, not even skirmishes so far, just trying to set up, but this is a very good spot for KS to be seated in, and UNS as well to help them out.
Now, there are some teams that I would suggest, when you know a team like Penta is going to be bringing a Valkyrie, throwing cameras outside, there are some teams I would suggest, hey, you should probably go and get an IQ. Black Dragons has been doing a phenomenal job of identifying those Valkyrie cameras just by pure line of sight, not using that IT detector.
I love that shot from Goga. Just all he needed. Usually you'll see the players just tapping that window with just a bit of wood, just a tap on the side, just to have a tiny angle on anybody that moves up to the balcony, because this is one of the two balconies that will always get contested, basically. And Goga just immediately landed the headshot and then just fell back. Now Yunus gets one for his own. Julio's like right below, and now Yunus rallies in from the stairs to help him out. Julio's on the outside, just going to rotate out, and Psycho has not yet been able to find anybody. Finally, Wag is going to drone Yunus out, but he's expecting players to move in from here, and will just fall back, spots Psycho out.
Psycho's going to see Yunus's feet here, most likely. Either that, what I don't want Psycho to do is I don't want him to shoot that soft drop hatch. That will allow Yunus to move and get on out. He takes one to the butt, but he gets out of town. Wag, however, will pick up his teammate inside of Goga. That's Goga inside of the library. Now with 50 seconds to go, it looks like we might see a garage push here.
And this is very bad. This is what BD always does. Every single time they fail on one strategy, this is exactly the push. This is taking me back exactly 1 year, because this is such an awkward play to go for. You have 4 players that are ready and reinforced below. You're relying on the glass, but the defenders already know what's going on. They're just going to sit back and wait for you to push in.
You've got Ella mines on Yunus. All he has to do is just throw him on through. Gas grenades. 20 seconds to go. They have to go on through it. Glass is going to be the one to do it, but it looks like he's going to take a couple breaths. Yunus takes off his head. It's going to be a 4-on-2. Wag going to try to get this plant down as Julio goes for the coverage. Can he do it? Looks like no, he won't. KS is going to grab a double kill. That's going to be 4-3. Still one up for Black Dragons.
Pretty good start there. I have to say the mirror play from KS at the end was just absolutely insane. But no matter what you do with those smokes, they will not work out correctly, because you have Pengu already that had thrown out one canister, throw in the second on the side. You want to go for the plant? Well, you have that tiny bit of angle for Wag to set his diffuser down. Unfortunately, did not work at all. Jonas is expecting them. They don't have any time to basically go for such a complicated push. This is why they always fall back on this one and exact same strategy. Let's just push garage and hope for the best. And that almost will never work against Penta.
Now we are going to see a cap can in the mix here. Our first time seeing cap can today. I don't know if we saw a cap can yesterday.
No, this is the first time in this offline tournament. I want to give a shout out to Stevie in the chat, because she knows the cap can stress. We saw Snookin' Nose.
We're talking about Stevie W.
Yes, exactly. Everybody knows her in the EU scene. But looking at this, Snookin' Nose were one of the teams that heavily invested in the captain play on Consulate. It's interesting to see him played on Chalet, and I think this is one of the maps where he can be very effective. Obviously, he's been changed. The entry denial device, now he gets 5 of them, and he does 60 damage with each and every pull of them. Also, the lasers are quite a bit more difficult to see, so this gives you a lot of entry denial power, basically, for your captain.
Now, I have been told, I haven't tested it because I don't own the Capcan Elite skin, but I have been told that the actual trap is a little bit tougher to see if you do use the elite skin, which I don't necessarily see Cap or Julia
Does
doing
it
right
apply as well to the trap itself? Does it change?
Yeah, the skin of the trap itself does change.
Very similar to Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch and her skin.
Yes, and that is one of
Thermite in his,
yes.
Sledge in his. Each of those devices, those utilities, do change with the elite skin.
Ooh, this is really bad here. The C4 got thrown in. Fortunately for Jonas, he will survive this. But I'm not sure. That was not a C4, actually. That was
the claim. That was the entry denial device by Capcan.
All right, there we go. Very well set up. They are not expecting this at all. So Capcan already doing the damage.
Oh, you see, he's got a double check. That would have been the death of a Hibana. He's going to spot that one out. And after that first attack, they now need to be a lot more cautious. There's the second one. That's going to be 3 down, 2 potential traps to go.
So Fabian just going to buck the floor, stay above the bed so he does not get shot from below. And just giving advantage for Jonas here to try and get a spray. This helps out as well, being able to throw a stun grenade. This is a very awkward spot to open up as well, and he's going to get caught out. Nobody opens up for there, and Julio will completely annihilate Fabian as he's just looking down, waiting for anybody to peek through. And that might just be Jonas, down on very low on HP. Sprays in, and Julio drop him down. Great headshot from our ace at BD.
Now this is great here by Black Dragons. Kamikaze's using that heartbeat sensor, getting as much information about who's coming in as possible. We are going to have a 5-on-3, a minute and 15 to go. More C4, more C4, more C4. We're seeing Valkyrie, Capcan, Pulse all utilize those C4s. Only one of those will actually connect and get a kill. That was onto Fabian. However, we still have all the defenders still alive.
Yeah, Julio barely taking any damage, but he eliminated 2 players, basically. Well, almost 2 players in his play here. Fabian and KS going down, no more Ying. You're relying now on very standard stock operators, and leaves PZD in a great spot to spray him down. Here's one, can't get the second. Jonas is just going to jump on in. Kamikaze gets one, and the double kill. Black Dragons are going to take map number 1. The crowd is going absolutely wild. Cannot believe it. Oh my God. If BD are feeding off of this, I can tell you we are going insane as well on here. We can feel it, and they definitely can downstairs.
Now, to put this into perspective, last February, during the 6th Invitational, there were about 500 or so seats. And we had people on the stage, we had players on the stage tell me that when people were out of their seats, jumping up and down, cheering for their teams, that the stage was literally moving. Here, we have over 1,000 people jumping up and down. I can't imagine what it's like down there on the stage.
Yeah, I can feel it from here, and we're sitting 1 floor above them. The view is absolutely insane behind us, but by the way. But you guys saw as well the mock-ups that they have for the 6th Invitational in Montreal. Oh my God. Now that is the event I want to be at, and I hope you're going to be there too, because I'm really looking forward to it. But going back into the game, BD played it fantastically.
They did.
They even pulled out the Capcom that nobody was expecting.
I liked it.
They didn't see it until it was too late. The droning play, very weirdly, I'm saying this, the droning play from Penta, a bit lacking in a few of the rounds.
I want to say it was lacking, but I also feel like what Penta didn't do was they didn't create their pinches as well as we'd seen them before. So think, for example, at the very end of the round there, we saw the I forget who exactly it was, out on the balcony, tried to go for the cover as PZD was looking up from the back stairs. On the top floor by the displays, the person who was out on the balcony got killed. Instantly, we had a nice trade there. We didn't see that throughout the entire game. That's what I wanted to see, though.
Penta were relying on, well, at least once they pulled out the quick strat on Chalet to just try and go for a plant very quickly, but didn't really end up working too well.
Yep.
I hope we have some replays. Yes, we do. Well, let's check out some of the replays and the highlights of this one map. That was eventually won out by Black Dragon. Started off very close between both teams and a bit Penta-sided, if you will, but I have to say, BD just pulled back and got ready and just won it through, just even by going through some weird tactics. Though Psycho with the glass play, 100% commended. That was very effective glass play if I've ever seen
the two
any.
things that stood out to me, the glass play and the cap can. Yes, the cap can didn't actually get a kill with the traps, but with we'll call it the nerf buff, whatever you want to call it. The nerf to the damage, the buff to the amount.
It gives you
a lot of utility work.
Exactly. That's utility work because, yeah, sure, you don't get the kill, but it's very difficult for your opponents to spot it out, which means if they run through it, you're 100% sure they just took 60 damage. Number two, you know that there's somebody up in that area, so you can just use it in positions where your opponents wouldn't necessarily be pushing from. You put a couple, 2 or 3 in positions where very obvious for opponents to move through, like, for example, that master bedroom, especially on that first entry. And you put others in positions where you would expect them to maybe flank if they have a weird strategy in mind.
I'd say there's 2 main strategies when it comes to placing those Kapkan traps. One, place them as close to sight as possible so that when time goes down to 30, 20 seconds, the attackers either have to waste more time trying to get rid of those traps or just run through them, enhancing the defender's chances of winning.
And your tunnel vision at that
Correct.
point.
Second one is exactly what we saw Black Dragons do. Stick them all around the map, even where you're not, because the attackers could potentially come in, think it's all clear, run in. There's no laser anymore, so therefore they're just easily going to take 60 damage, and there's no risk to you.
I have to say, this was a surprising game for me, but BD playing it the way that they did, I was expecting them to play a lot of the ways that they did before.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened early on. That was what Penta was able to capitalize on for their few rounds, but at the end, they were able to play out of the box. And this is not something Penta were necessarily looking for. But now we head into map number 2, Clubhouse between the 2 teams. And Sean, I want to bring you back to Clubhouse in our last season at Gamescom, the grand final Penta Elevate. Remember what Penta pulled out on there? Those crazy bomb sites in those defenses?
Last season, no, I don't remember off the top of my head. I do remember Flipside tried to bring a blitz here, season 1.
Of course you remember the
blitz. That's what
play.
I remember about Clubhouse. Nothing else about Clubhouse is memorable except for the cash hold by Flipside and the blitz played by Flipside. That's all I remember about Clubhouse.
Well, Penta basically went for literally the one site that nobody would ever go for. No one has ever gone for it so much that I don't even remember its name. Basically,
the gym in master bedroom?
Basically.
Okay.
And that forced their opponents Elevate back then to try and deal with those reinforced walls in a very awkward way because they just had a mirror wall that watched over everything.
Yep.
And Penta had full advantage over all that position. But here, they're just going to go for a basement/chapel defense all the way down in the armory. Pretty darn easy and stock defense, if you will. But we saw Infamy yesterday playing in the utility room quite a bit and holding down in the back here, even dedicating a reinforced wall and a mirror wall in here. Not the case for Penta, and I'm surprised that we haven't seen the Legion being picked up for him.
Yeah, and if we turn back time to yesterday, when we saw Kamikaze and the rest of Black Dragons play on this map, defend downstairs, if you recall, Kamikaze was I think it was Kamikaze anyways, the Jaeger, who stayed inside of Armory, right facing the mirror window that was going into the blue garage tunnel. That's going to be the role of KS right now, and as we saw, the wall is reinforced, but the mirror window is not down just yet, and that is because he doesn't need to place it down at the moment. He's going to do a delayed pull down, and what that's going to allow for is if there's a twitch, give it more time for the twitch drone to get destroyed instead of having that window opened up.
Now Wag will open up this wall here all the way in the tunnel, and we'll just push Pengu back. He's not sure if anybody will go through, but this is something BD have been doing, especially yesterday, where they will just open up the tunnel and just not do anything, just to keep their opponents on their toes. Oh, Jonas, all right, taking a bit of damage here from the Hibana charges, the Kairos. Right in the face. Don't take too much damage and just fall back as the rest of BD are just joining in, figuring out the positions of Penta, as Penta themselves are just looking through and making sure that they know they keep a tab on where BD are. Already 2 exothermic charges have been used. The rest is all going to be on Kamikaze and that Hibana. He still has 1 more Kairos to play around with. I think those hatches are going to be the way to go.
Yeah, no, we've got kitchen drop hatch opened. We've got the cave opened up. We've got the bar opened up. We also have the stock opened up. So all the drop hatches are opened, and all the points of entry onto the sites are open. Now it's a matter of how Black Dragons going to do this. Are they going to pick 2, force their way in? Are they going to surround by 5? Hopefully they win their gunfights, which they have been doing. It's really up to how the next 60 seconds are going to go down.
And this is why you go for the Jackal as well as the Glass, because you have those extra smoke. But kill number 1 will go down. Julio grabs the kill on the wounded Yunus with a great headshot. Flash gonna get thrown in here as Psycho moves bit by bit inside of the church, but will get oh no!
Psycho's
Gets the
gonna
headshot.
grab the headshot onto Goga. We're gonna be in a 3-on-5 now. PZD gets Pengu there. Now we are gonna have Fabian last man alive. PZD takes down that as Kamikaze grabs KS.
I am at a loss for words. That is a push that BD would have never ever been able to win in a normal fashion, but the Glass play. That was fantastic. The flash being thrown in gave him a tiny limit of a second to just, the sliver of a second, to throw in the smoke, move in right behind it, and just get the pixel as the Valkyrie was peeking through.
I was expecting a C4 to come from the Valkyrie, but instead, I want to say he played it right as he did, just pre-fire right inside. He had the right information, right timing, but just off the hair or just didn't have the right headshot.
I think what he did, at least from the little that we're able to see, is that as Goga was trying to move out, he didn't immediately pre-fire because there was the smoke trail still, so he wasn't 100% sure of position. And it took him a second to realize, oh, all right, now I have to spray. And in the meantime, you had the correction from the first body shot from the Glass to go into the headshot. But it just was a flurry of kills, and this is the thing with BD. We never see them, when they push onto a site, get only 1 or 2 kills. It's literally almost always a full wipe of their opponents.
It was Psycho, not Kamikaze. Psycho is going to be that Jaeger player. He reinforces the same wall. They're going to do that same tactic. This is worrisome, though, because right now Black Dragons is setting up very similarly to how they did yesterday. And if they don't change anything up, I guarantee you Penta has their number on this hold.
Well, so far just Yunus running around, and this is what I was waiting for. The Legion play from Kamikaze. Now, we cannot see exactly where he set down his goo mines, but for once, we're going to see that tunnel pressure just a bit. This is probably to keep the defenders on their toes, at least pushing the Jaeger older Legion, in this case the Ella. Bullback and Pengu is just moving bit by bit on the Blackbeard. We're finally seeing him on the Blackbeard for the second time in the tournament, as we saw before. Might be able to get the headshot here. No, just a bit of a flurry of fire and just pulls back. Wag notices what's going on and does not want to engage with the best Blackbeard in the business.
Now Pengu has to be wary here. He's going to run into that Ella mine as well as the smoke grenade's going to go off here. Will he get baited out, or is he just going to play it safe for the moment?
He's already baited out as much of the utility as he can, really. The only way is just to push in, but that would be a bit too risky. And I think so far, it just gives his teammates so much of an advantage to just set up before.
I love that bait, though. That bait, though, from the flashbang of Pengu. He tried throwing it, went right back to his weapon. You heard the click. That's going to force Wag back inside. Now, he did draw back a little bit, but right about to hit that Ella mine.
This is it. This is what they're doing. They're trying to force their opponents back into the site now, but also dedicate at least 2 or 3 of them even looking down into that tunnel, whilst the rest of their teammates are just taking control of the top side of the bar. Now Pengu will move in, takes a lot of damage from the smoke, and Wag has already used 1. He's going to use the second one as Pengu falls back. Double utility has been used, as well as the Ella mine, with a bit of HP lost, and Pengu might be able to get the kill. No! Wag gets the headshot!
Wag picks up the SMG-11 headshot onto Pengu, and that is going to be most likely the downfall here of Penta, because they lost that tower, or they lost that tunnel control. However, Julio gets smacked down by Fabian, and the dance around by KS is going to go from Moto over towards PZD. PZD spots him, takes him down. That's going to be a 2K for him. Kamikaze as well. Last one, Fabian, and 3K by PZD.
We can clearly hear our Brazilian casters, our good friend Natalia and Meligini in the opposing cubicle, just going absolutely insane, as well as the crowd on the outside. BD just completely shut down this push from Penta. It got too technical for Penta near the end, and instead of them focusing on the players that might just be charging at them from the sides, they just tunnel visioned into the church. And you know, when you already have the Glass that's looking down there, why is everybody looking down in the same line of sight? This is huge blunder and huge mistake from Penta.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So we're back again here. Penta on the defense, though. Fabian finally on the leash. I don't know if Penta right now are making mistakes because they're off their normal type of play, or is it just because they're getting a bit too cocky?
I don't think it's cockiness. Yes, we know Penta is very, we'll call it direct with their propaganda of their team, if that's what you want to call it. But
propaganda is the right word that I would use for
right
Fabian, to describe Fabian. Yeah, that is true.
I mean, what I'm trying to say here is that Penta is always direct. They are very confident in their team and their ability and their players, but I don't think that becomes overconfidence. I don't think they get ahead of themselves. I don't think they get overconfident to the point where they start losing because they got too comfortable.
I actually disagree. I think that there's definitely something going on in the team that should not.
Agreed.
And because they have been so used to winning all the time, losing map 1 and now losing the first 2 rounds on Clubhouse, I think the egos might get a bit too big for them to hold. And this is when you start blaming one or the other instead of calming down. And I know there's a couple of players on there that might get a bit too fiery. BD definitely is exploiting this. And we saw before Julio going for the fuse yesterday. This time, just going for a pretty standard buck. So, it's just going to be buck on the floor and moving him pretty stock standard.
Now, we are going to see Julio open up these drop hatches above the gym and the master bedroom. This is mainly just to make sure they're going to clear out any defenders above, and that allows them to take control. This looks like it will be a strip club push, not one of the stocks that we see.
Changing mags.
Now, this is a good spot from Kamikaze, taking down the mirror wall. You want to have at least a couple of those lines of sight into the bomb site as well. I'm not sure how the setup is in the bar area for the defense. Maybe we can have a quick look at that if possible here. Okay, Psycho just still droning in.
Good lesion trap he's spotting right here. Psycho spots it. He's going to call it out here momentarily. But what we're going to be seeing now, Penta, they know these drop hatches are open. There's now Eunice. Oh, he's just going to dodge that nade just in perfect time. Gets on downstairs, heads back up. Oh, and there's going to be some wall getting opened up here right next to him. Goes for a pre-fire. Misses the target. Psycho's going to walk away unscathed.
But now they're 100% sure of Eunice's position in the gym. He can fall back whenever he wants, but that glass can peek him very, very quickly. Now here's him repelling on the side, and Eunice might just charge in. Wog is ready for him, but no, will get taken down. Eunice is still alive. Can't get the second. Kamikaze cleaning him up.
That were 4 players from Black Dragons all trying to flush out Eunice on the top floor. He walked away with 1 frag of his own before getting taken down. 40 seconds to go here, and it's going to be a 4-4. No more thermite, though.
Julio chucking in the nades, trying to take down all these castle reinforcements. So far, the castle walls have not really done too much, but Penta have dedicated so much on the upper defense that right now, BD have barely any time to charge into the site. And with 4 players left alive, this is what Penta were going for. They lose at Eunice, they lose at the Jaeger, but they trade Wog. And that is a great trade because now you don't have the thermite and you rely 100% on Kamikaze.
Now these double smoke grenades are going to force PZD to overlook that goo trap. He's going to get hit there. We're going to have Glass moving inside. Pengu grabs PZD, Fabian as well. Psycho, Pengu and Goga pick up the final 2. Penta finally on the board. They're still trailing by 1 round though.
You can see a bit of concern in their faces there, but you know what? This is one of the defenses that we're always skeptical of because roaming on this map on Clubhouse is extremely complicated. Now the way that they did it is that they dedicated a lot of the reinforcements to the top side, not the bar. This means that they would their opponents would think, oh, there's at least 2 players waiting for us there. No, unfortunately for them, there's only Eunice. Yeah, you trade off Eunice, but you lost the thermite. And without having the thermite, it means that those reinforced walls will not go down. You rely on the Habana, but the Habana already used up at least 2 of those Kairos shots to take down the mirror walls that were already set up top. This completely confused BD, and it forced them to just rush in and try to trade for kills. And this is how Penta was able to bait them into this situation.
So here we are, round number 4 on map number 2 in our second semifinal of today. Winner of this between Black Dragons and Penta will go up against ENCE Esports, as unfortunately for Team Font, they fell to them 2-0 earlier.
Oh, well, Psycho just running up top the CCTV room. Might just go, yeah, there you go. He's going to just go and set up for his Valcams.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
It's always interesting to see where the Legion gets played because those goo mines are extremely frustrating to deal with as any operator on the opposing side, especially for Blackbeard, which is not the case this time.
That's unfortunate. I want to point that out real quick. PZD is inside of the of garage. He was calling for an impact grenade to open up the wall between garage and CCTV. However, the Legion, Julio, already used both of them to open up the passageway from office top floor over to cash room.
Yeah, and this means he's basically stuck in there. That is an extremely difficult position to be in. And now if you get flushed out or you want to go back and protect your teammates, protect the site, then you have to go through all of your opponents and they will know exactly where you're at because you're going through very easy to tell, very design-made map positions. Fabian scaling up top. Goga still running around. Now this is Penta just scattering all around the entire map, trying to find some sort of advantage and just trying to pull BD onto the sites themselves. Fabian will move in with his Twitch drone, trying to find the mirror wall that he can take down. Unfortunately, there is none. There are Ella traps and exactly what we saw Eunice running into right here, these goo mines, the get gooed type of plays. Just taking a bit of damage off of it. Psycho's going to red up for the C4.
KS is going to take a little, no, actually takes 0 damage from that. He'll lay down a few bullets, but Psycho will fall finally to Pengu coming on down the cash stairs. Now that means we are going to have stockroom all clear. We're also going to have cash stairs and lobby all clear. This is looking like it's going to be a stockroom push. WAG going to be on those main stairs of kitchen and going up to master bedroom. And Fabian looking right there, right at him. Goga will go down, but not before Pengu takes out Julio. PZD taking massive damage on the return fire. Eunice going to go up, smack down a kill. Great frag happening by Kamikaze onto Pengu.
Yeah, leaving now the 2 players alive. WAG low on HP. Kamikaze's ready as well on the opposing side, but Penta are just going to run in and might just try to go for a plant. Kamikaze setting right by Fabian as Fabian did grab WAG, and from above we see KS just getting ready with the buck, trying to find anybody rotating out. Fabian low on HP, looking down into the bar. Here's their opponents moving around, but Kamikaze will grab one as they trade 1-to-1. This leaves WAG on his own, moving in half HP in the lobby, and they're going to go for the plant here. Penta, WAG on his own, spraying in, trying to take him out, but Eunice coming around from the side, gets the headshot and cleans up BD. Very good here. This is that is a nice headshot through the wall. That is the fake of the century. We almost saw the Bandit being able to take him down, but he does so little damage. Even if it was able to penetrate through, that would have been pretty much irrelevant for Jonas.
Penta ties it back up 2-2 right now. They're going to go back on defense, but because they won their last defense, we are going to see them go to the bar and stock room. Julio hopping onto that fuse that we know so well they love to do. If they persist on doing the same thing they did against Infamy yesterday, Penta is going to be ready for it, and Black Dragons will have a very tough time.
Well, so far, pretty standard from both teams. 6-2 from PZD on the board. Same for Kamikaze. KS on 0-3, unfortunately not being able to put himself on the board just yet. 2-2 tie. This turns yet again into what we saw in our previous map. But will this be the opportunity for BD to go back up again and put themselves in a more favorable position, or will Penta try to take the lead? Because this time around, KS will be playing the Legion and Fabian going for the Jaeger, something he's very used to as well. Goga on the Valk, arguably one of, if not the best Valkyrie player in the world. And Black Dragons are still sticking to that glass on Psycho. However, I think this Julio here on the fuse is going to be a huge part of their push. That hallway down below can just get completely shut down, as well what we saw yesterday pushing into the stockroom.
So what I think we're going to see Penta do here, they've stuck at least 2, if not 3 members of their team inside a strip club. You've got Goga as well as KS. They're going to be maintaining that side of the map. You also have Fabian inside of Garage. What they're going to have to do is once this push starts going towards the towards the stockroom, which it guaranteed will, they're going to have to collapse and renegotiate where their positioning is. That's going to be the downfall or the succeeding of Penta on this round.
Fabian just trying to find an empty angle here, but no, Julio already is ready for it. Might just run in and get a cluster charge ready. No. Fabian's just going to be waiting around here. I'm not sure if he knows that the drone is there. And now, with all the shots being rolled in from Psycho and Kamikaze ready as well, Fabian's looking in a pretty darn tight spot, and we'll have to rely on Pengu to help him out maybe on the opposing side. There we go, runs right in. They're ready for this. They want to get those pinches basically to get Fabian out of position and take him out. That'll be a huge win early on.
Now Fabian is going to have someone approaching on the left-hand side. It's going to be Kamikaze moving up a little bit closer. Julio, though, will go down. That's the fuse. That is going to be the pinpoint, the pinnacle of Black Dragon's attack, and that just went down. That means Pengu going to stay inside of the stock room. Kamikaze, though, grabs another onto Eunice. It's going to be a 3-on-4 now, but with no fuse, we will have Pengu stay inside of that stock room.
Gumon has been thrown in, but unfortunately for Penta, Psycho spotted it out and took it down. Now Pengu very close up in stockroom. This is a perfect spot for him to be in to protect the site itself. However, this is why you grab the fuse. Unfortunately, they lost Julio. Now they have to rely on the glass to do the damage, and Pengu's just going to relocate and put himself in a bit of a better position. Holding the bar is going to be a huge part of this defense now.
They need to hold it, or unless Pengu's going to be the saving grace. He has to hold down stockroom with his 2 gas grenades he's got left. If the attackers are able to get control of Bar, take out Goga, flush around behind Pengu, it's going to be round over for Penta. However, there's still 3 members from Penta left. It's all going to come down here. PZD grabs Goga. KS going to smack on down to Kamikaze. Pengu, though, will fall to Psycho. It's all to KS. He grabs another 2-on-1. Now the glass is down. Wag and PZD going to be the last 2 alive. Plant will go down here. 20 seconds left on the board. KS needs to figure out one. Can he get Wag? He's going back and forth, left and right. Will tag him down. It's not going to be PZD, last man alive. He's inside of the lobby. They know he's there. He's got to go for it. Nice, well, Valkyrie camera. And KS is going to try to hit this baited on out. Right up behind him where he's going to go. Sees him, but will not get it. PZD picks it on up. And Black Dragons, they now go to a 4-2.
I think this was one of those positions where you just continue diffusing, and he would have been able to do it.
3-2 for them.
Would have been able to do it there at the end because the Twitch was so cautious that he could have just kept on tapping, and with a couple extra seconds would have been a victory for Penta with the defusal. Unfortunately, is not the case, and BD, as we saw on map number 1, Chalet, will go up 3-2. Will Penta be eliminated? Remember, they are down 1 map. They need to win this map to go to a 3rd one and then possibly defend their title as Pro League champions in the final. ENCE is already waiting for them, but BD has the crowd on their side, and they are feeding off of them.
I am feeling as though this will go to a 4-4. If we look at the numbers, the same as we did yesterday, Black Dragons, they are favored to win this downstairs bomb site. That's what defenders do. They win this bomb site, they lose the top floor bomb site. That means Penta, having won this bomb site, having losing this bomb site, they'll go down, defend the basement. They'll make it 4-3. We'll then have Penta attack on that main top floor inside a bar and stock. That is likely going to go in favor of Penta, bring it to a 4-4. I think it's going to come down to who starts on attack, who starts on defense for overtime.
I think it definitely relies on what we saw as well yesterday. Saying who is able to win the attack rounds when it's a basement attack.
Yep.
That is a very difficult site to push. And if you can take it down, if you can win at least 1, if you can win 2, that is great. If you can win 1 of them at least, that'll give you a huge advantage coming in to possibly an overtime, which I would not be too, too afraid to have. At least more of this game would be great and just fine. Thank you very much.
I know the fans want to see more of Black Dragons, and so if it so happens that Penta comes out on top, I know that the fans at least want to see 3 maps, and that's exactly what we'll likely get here. We are going to have top floor bar get taken over here. KS opening up the floor here, not going to see an entry point in towards the kitchen site.
There you go. Spots only one of those sides. Won't be opening it up. Now opens up the kitchen just to try and find Wag. He's in a pretty exposed spot, if you will, trying to find maybe some bandit batteries that are set up, but it's extremely difficult to get a shot through there. Might just want to move around into the bar and maybe get a clearer shot down there. So the EMP is going to get thrown in. This is very good here. Very good from Penta to understand that this is where the bandit is going to get picked up, and having the Thatcher is a huge part of this attack. All right, Fabian as well on the IQ. This helps them out to detect the bandit batteries. As soon as they saw, okay, there's bandit batteries, now we can set ourselves up. And as we saw before with Julio on map number 1, well, KS this time is going to be on the buck. Rolling in those grenades is going to be extremely important. So Goga's now going to get spotted. Julio, for once, going to open up the wall.
Oh!
C4 thrown in, gets them both! One down
He's
and
gonna
one
grab
taken
one.
out. Yunas now comes in, grabs the kill on Julio, but that is a huge, huge kill for Black Dragons.
Now a 4-on-3 as we do have Goga injured. KS is going to cover while Fabian picks him up. That's going to make it 4-4. However, lots of damage done to Fabian's back by PZD. Goga's going to drone this out as Fabian's going to likely move in here after he forces his way in towards the side. Psycho, though, will pick it on up through the punch hole. Wonderful kill.
You see the Ella PZD there, even with the Grim Reaper charm, and he will come in, get the headshot on one, the double kill for PZD! BD have almost done this here for the 4th round. KS all on his own, jumping right down into the memorial room here, wants to get into the church, but from behind, gets one on PZD, gets the second as well. It's not done just yet. KS slow on HP, 2 still alive. Has to pick up the diffuser and one headshot right on KS. Will clean up PENTA and BD are in match point. I cannot believe it, Sean. This is actually happening. Absolutely insane plays, I have to say.
The PENTA will go to that church arsenal room. However, we're going to have a Monty out, it looks like, here by WAG. And typically the Monty play is for the stock push. We don't necessarily see him downstairs too much. I have to say it's got to be for either a garage push or a tunnel push.
This has to be a tunnel. Unfortunately, this is very different to the meta that we had before. Now you have to worry about Ella and the smoke and quite possibly the Legion. So I'm very curious to see how BD set up to go for this. They'll probably have the Capitao moving up into the kitchen. So it's about a few of the setups up top on the bar area and on the end in the kitchen. And after that, might just try to push in with the Monty and the glass behind them. This is a tactic that we saw so much in Year 2 Season 1. We're just going to set up his ADSs and nothing too special here. Now they're just going to run up top. KS is going to set up as well.
Yeah, I don't think we are going to see any roamers around. They're just finishing prepping upstairs, but I got to say, I mean, we might see one roamer like we saw Eunice before, but he's not playing the Ella this time. He is going to be the Jaeger.
ADS deployed and ready to go.
Actually, no, we will be seeing, I think, someone inside a strip club. Mira just put a window inside of there.
Yeah, this is very similar to what we saw PENTA set up 3 rounds ago, I believe, when we saw the Jaeger able to take down Julio, who was playing the Fuse. This time, there is no Fuse to play around with, and I don't think this is something that PENTA are expecting at all, but this is not difficult at all to counter with the current trap meta, if you will, that we have, because that Ella mine will completely demolish the Monty.
Now Julio going to get back upstairs to the very top, try to get into either the master bedroom or the cash room, focus his way in through there. They're going to have to take out the defense inside of the bar very early on so they have enough time, and it's not just going to be a cluster going on down. KS, though, picked up the first kill on a PZD. The full shielded WAG will go in forward. Kamikaze, though, takes the refrag onto KS.
Now Psycho jumping in, spots the Legion trap there. Very difficult to spot indeed. And this is very odd. The Monty is not in tunnel. They might just try and jump down with him up front, but where will the glass go? Will it just stick by the hatches and hold on from there?
What I think we might see, though, yeah, I think we are going to see a Monty go down inside of the Moto. We're going to see a plant right by the doorway of A after they clear out blue. We already have Hibana. Glass is likely to go down blue, hold that down. And right there we are likely, that's what I'm expecting to go ahead and see.
Well, we just saw Fabian throwing down one of his Legion traps at Goo Mines all the way in the back here of blue, as Julio in the meantime opens up the top side. This is where your Capitao has to be. Just throw in the crossbow bolts and a few of the spots where he can direct fire with his crossbows just to put in the smokes and those fire bolts to push back the defenders, allow his teammates to move in. This is very good because it allows the Monty to come in uncontested.
Now this is different. We are going to see Monty and potentially Capital, both dropped from Kitchen. Right underneath of him is Eunice. He's going to fire a couple shots forward, and they know someone's right underneath. But Psycho needs to open up this floor. Penta, if they can hold down this defense, they will still be in the running, but this is match point. This is series point right now for Black Dragons. Psycho still trying to get a nice shot on the Eunice. Smoking it's going to go through. Eunice takes a couple bullets to the side here, and there's Monty. He'll go drop him, but he's going to push Eunice. Psycho's also going to try to drop here. Kamikaze gets Goga. Fabian on the refrag to Kamikaze. Psycho drops. He picks it up. There's only 2 members left from Penta. It's Fabian. It's not Penko. It's now Fabian. It's all up to him. And a 1-on-2. Julian and Wag. Can he get it? Fabian's going to dip around the grand. He won't get it. Julio gets the frag. Black Dragons goes to the grand final, taking down the last 2-season dual champion, Penta Sports.
Take a look at that. Take a look at that. The crowd, absolutely insane for the local team. There you see even part of the management team for Black Dragons that are in the middle of the crowd. Cannot believe that this is actually happening. And you know what? As much of a fan of Penta as I am, I think this is the slap in the face that they needed. They got way too cocky, especially Fabian, and this is the wake-up call. Now you prepare for the Invitational by being a bit more humble than what you've been throughout the season. It's cool. It's cool to be the bad guy, but there's a certain point where it just gets a bit too much to handle, if you will. And well, now they face the consequences. Congratulations for BD. They will be in the grand finals versus ENCE Esports.
I mean, you can tell how much these audience members wanted Black Dragons to win. They got their wish. Home turf for Black Dragons. And I got to say it.
I just want to take a listen and
victory.
look at this because, my God, we're on the first floor. We can see everybody here, and this is absolutely insane. The devs are sitting around as well from Yubi, and they're all looking at this, and they're like, I cannot believe that this is actually happening. This is an actual revolution, if you will, and the fans are just absolutely insane.